Alright, what's the deal with your boy, Love One to Hate One, in the building with your boy, Gil, and we back at y'all with another radio call, man. And you guys already know, man, when you hear us in the building, we finna cook. But look, man, it's obvious, okay? It's looking like we're gonna get Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Now, listen, man, when it comes down to this fight, it's not gonna be very long for me. Somebody, and shouts out to Carlos, man, you know who you are, and you can let me know your thoughts on this too, Gil. He said, man, you know what? As much as I like Canelo, I can't be biased. I think if Terence Crawford has the fight of his life, I feel like he has a possibility to pull off the upset. A high possibility. I don't think he said high, but he said he has a strong possibility to pull off the upset. And my direct response to him was, you know, hey, listen, can he really have the best fight of his life? Being 37 years old, right? And you're fighting at a weight you never fought at before, okay? Can he really have the fight of his life under those circumstances? That's really my quick thoughts on it, though. Go ahead, talk to your boy, Gil.
I always fall back to this one fight that nobody talks about, and it's the Pacquiao De La Hoya fight. Nobody wanted to see that. They said that Pacquiao was gonna get hurt in that fight, if you remember.
I remember that.
How did it turn out? So to me, there's always gonna be question if Bud Crawford can get it done, because there's always a chance in a boxing match. A guy can get a lucky punch, do things that you don't expect, and then it turns totally backwards from what everybody thinks. So there's always going to be a chance. But do I want to see it? Personally, I think it would be too much for Bud Crawford. He's jumping up about 2 to 3 different weight classes, and there's weight classes for a reason. The way I think it's gonna end up working is it might look like the Charlos against Canelo, which is they're gonna shell up and try to not get knocked out, but there's always a possibility, and that's where it gets intriguing for me. I mean, because you just never know in a boxing match.
That's a fact. It's like we all know Oscar was pretty much past it, man. We all know Oscar was past it. Oscar been in wars. He been knocked out. He was an old 34 in my opinion. Or 35, however the fuck he was. Oscar was clearly past it. Manny Pacquiao was still an underdog, but Canelo, in my opinion, I don't think Canelo's nowhere near clearly past it, man. I feel like Canelo has a lot left in the tank.
I think you're right as far as that aspect, but I was talking about what people were saying before that the fight actually took place. They said it was going to be overwhelming, and a lot of us have said Canelo would overwhelm Bud Crawford. The thing is that you just never know. I mean, and let's be honest, we are two guys that are very unbiased, and we'll say it when it happens.
Yeah, of course.
If it happens, that you just never know, and especially because Crawford has always said he has the style to make it complicated, but we haven't seen him in there with a guy that carries that kind of power that Canelo is carrying into this fight.
I get exactly what you mean. That's why that was a good analogy to bring up. It's just anything can happen in the sport. Like, we've seen it happen before. But all I'm saying is, like, okay, let me say this. A lot of people go into this fight and they feel like Terence Crawford is the better boxer. A lot of people feel like if Canelo wins, it'll be by stoppage, or he will have to basically be the aggressor. But is Terence Crawford really the better boxer here? Because I feel like they both can box.
They both got skills.
Yeah.
I think what it is that Terence Crawford will be faster, and they think he could pull it off with the speed and the movement.
Yeah.
But they're not taking into account that Canelo is the counterpuncher. He's waiting for you to make a mistake. He wants you to come at him. Will Terence do that, or will he just try to walk around the ring and do the boxing thing? You know, that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, and
it might turn out like the Lara Canelo fight, where it's like Lara was just trying to pick and poke, do his thing, throw the jab, and win on points. Do you think it's going to be like that? Or do you think Terrence Crawford will come at him and try to take it to him?
But see, and me responding to that, I don't feel like Terrence. See, and this is why I fuck with Canelo so much, because we know Canelo can fight off the front foot and the back foot. I don't know if Terrence Crawford, he can fight off the front foot, but against Canelo, if he, like, let's just say if he just tries to come forward against Canelo the whole fight, in my opinion, that's like Christmas come early for Canelo. I feel like Terrence Crawford's only chance in this fight is to basically do what Lara did, stay on the back foot, and Canelo is a way better fighter than he was against Lara. So if Terrence Crawford comes in this fight and he kind of stay on the back foot, use his jab, you know, try to counter Canelo, I can see that being good for some rounds, but Canelo knowing how to cut off the ring and stuff like that, it's, in my opinion, it's several ways that Canelo can beat Crawford. In my opinion, it's just one way. I don't see Crawford just stopping Canelo. I don't see Crawford just coming out on the front foot and imposing his will on Canelo and just pushing Canelo back and shit like that. What the fuck do anybody just push Canelo back? You could say Triple G for the first fight, but Canelo wanted to go back.
Yeah, you're right. And to be honest with you, I got Canelo. I mean, Terrence Crawford was my number one fighter for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
And it always comes back to he wasn't very active. And he only fought like once a year. And there's just a part of me that doesn't think he would do anything against Canelo, because Canelo is a counterpuncher. He wants you to make those mistakes. He wants you to come at him. And I just think he has too much power to make Terrence Crawford kind of fear what's coming at him.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
But you guys know this is, you know, this, we really just speculate and talking shit about it. But I will say this though, and I feel like this is the closest we're gonna get to an actual game plan from Terrence Crawford. I remember somebody asked Terrence Crawford trainer, what's his name? Bomac, yeah. Big Bomac. Somebody asked Bomac, you know, how would Terrence Crawford fight Canelo? And Bomac said, you know, oh yeah, you know, use our distance and shit, you know, counter him, outbox him and shit. He never said anything about trying to push Canelo back coming off the front foot. So I feel like Terrence Crawford is going to come in this fight. He's going to basically use his, well, I keep saying speed, bro, but how fast is he going to look at 168? I know the speed is not going to disappear, but is he going to look as fast, though?
And, well, against Medramov, he didn't look fast at all.
He didn't look fast. Man, I'm glad you brought that up. He did not look fast to me against Medramov. He didn't look slow. Of course he didn't look slow, but I'm talking about the Crawford that we're seeing. Like Spence, he looked like blinding fast. Against Medramov, he looked like kind of slow. And the foot speed, I didn't see the foot speed neither. So just imagine at 168, a lot of people are just closing their eyes and they're picturing Crawford coming into this fight against Canelo looking like how he looked at 147.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes back to they think that since he was able to do that to Spence, they think he would be able to do that to Canelo. But they're two different fighters, two different styles, two different ways of doing things. So I don't even think that comes into play.
That's another good point you brought up too, because if you think about it, nobody was even talking about a Crawford versus Canelo, and Crawford even said it himself, he's not going up to 168. Nobody, including Crawford himself, was talking about the Canelo fight until after he beat Spence. So that Spence fight did put a battery in their fucking back.
Well, they started thinking about the money that they could make. That's what it was, to be real.
Yeah, that is true too. Yeah, that's. I've been saying that. Yeah, I've been saying that. It's really the money. So, but let me tell you this though. Do you feel like Terrence Crawford will come in this fight and just like basically run like Jamel?
I think he's more willing to engage because he has dog in him, bro. He when he gets you hurt, he will take you out. I just don't see him being able to do anything against Canelo.
Yeah, I get that, but I thought Jamel had dog in him too, though.
No, the way I look at it is, Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
You can see, while he's in there fighting, there's an angry look that he has in his eye most of the time, and Charlo didn't. He looked like he just was there to survive. After feeling those body punches, he didn't look like the same guy. So
no, that's a fact, Gil. No, that's a fact. But I thought, I'm not gonna even lie. In my opinion, I thought that that's the only time I seen Jermell Charlo look like he didn't really want it. Now, of course, that's because Canelo. Now, that's why I'm asking you. Do you feel like I never seen Jermell look like that before? It looked like he was submitting against Canelo.
No, I don't know, bro, because what was that guy? He's from another country that fought against Charlo and
Tony Harrison.
Get a split. I think Charlo won that fight, but they had to get that rematch.
Tony Harrison.
I didn't think he was that kind of fighter like a Bud Crawford that has that meanness to him, and that's why I always thought if Charlo and him got into it, I think Bud would win that fight because of that dog in him, bro.
I think Jermell got dog him too. I know that fight looked bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Gil. I think you would have a different opinion before the Canelo fight. That Canelo fight made it look like Jermell don't got no dog in him at all.
I don't know, bro. I've seen different things, and I've never thought he was that kind of a fighter, bro. I thought he was more of a boxer. He has power, bro. Don't get me wrong, and
yeah.
Maybe you're right. I just don't think highly of Charlo, and maybe that's what's messing up my view of it. But that's just me, bro.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, Jamal's the one that I call the mud Charlo and shit like that. But no, I get your point though. I do feel like Terrence Crawford do got a little more dog in him than Jermell. But I just feel like it's that Canelo fight. It really made you notice, not just you. I'm talking about a lot of people. It really made us think like, damn, Jermell, like you really. Come on, man. That fight made you look very bad. It's not the fact that you lost to Canelo. It's how you lost. Shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's how he went about losing that fight. It didn't even look like he was trying at times. He just want to get out of there.
Yeah, and enjoy his money. But I think Terrence Crawford, my final thoughts on it is I feel like Terrence Crawford comes to this fight and, he's going to give us all. It's just not going to be enough.
I believe the same thing. I think it's just a different animal when you're moving up weights like that, bro. And you're slower. Yep. You have to be better on defense. And just because you're slower, and the Madrimov fight kind of proved it. There is something to be said when you move up and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And then another thing, too, Gil, it's not like he's coming up in weight and he fought a few times at the weight. Like, you're getting in there right with the best at 168 in your first fucking fight.
You got to get acclimated to the weight, bro, or else you're going to say, oh, well, I felt slow, I felt sluggish, I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Right.
My mind was ready, but my body wasn't. It's just too many of those excuses that are built in. That's why I don't want to see it. But now that it might happen, you kind of have to think about it and be like, who do you think is going to win? And to me, it's going to be Canelo at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. And I really don't want to see it neither. But what makes me kind of want to see it is you got a lot of people who feel Crawford going to pull it off.
I think that's why it kind of sets expectations a little bit different, because there's a lot of Crawford fans think that he could pull it off.
Yeah.
I beg to differ, so it's interesting because a lot of people believe that if Canelo wins, it's a no-win situation because there's so many built-in excuses for Crawford that it's a no-win situation for him.
Well, you know, I know exactly what you mean, but you know how I say it. It's gonna be the Jermell Charlo versus Canelo all over again.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just bothers me a little bit that there's so many people picking Crawford when it's like you got Timmy over there picking Crawford, saying that he's gonna beat the brakes off the boy. So I just don't see it.
Yeah, oh my God! Yeah, he's talking about Canelo scared of Crawford. I'm with you though. I don't see it neither. But I mean, it is what it is, though, bro. You know.
Yeah.